Department of Science and Humanities, and also I welcome you all of you joining us for today's webinar. Today we are our presenter Dr. Rakesh Sharma is having given consultants for the webinar on queuing with the retention of impatient customers. On behalf of all, I once again welcome you all for this valuable webinar. Thank you.
So good afternoon, everyone. At the outset, I would like to thank the convener of this national level one-day workshop, Professor Dr. K.P. Uma, Head Science and Humanities, coordinators Dr. T. Rosemary and Dr. B. Kogilwani, and the student coordinator T. Mahakrishnan. Thank you all. Thanks for your cooperation and coordination. So with your kind invitation, I am here to present my webinar on queuing with retention of impatient customers. So welcome all the participants. So I hope the screen is visible to you people. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is a newly developed concept, retention of impatient customers in queuing theory. Basically, in our day-to-day life, we encounter waiting lines or queues. Everybody has seen queues in his or her vicinity. If you go to buy some ticket for any bus or for any train, you have to be in the queues. You go to hospitals, there are a lot of queues of patients. Okay. Now, there are queues of telephone calls also, because every time you are not connected at once. Okay. So there are queues of aeroplanes also and circling in the sky waiting for landing, because the runways may not be available. So and so forth in grocery stores, in big bazaars. Okay. You can find a lot of queues. So this waiting in queues become very costly or very dangerous whenever we are dealing with life. Say some critical patients, if those are not attended at once, they may die. Similarly, you may have to do some financial transactions very quickly. If you are not able to do them, you will have to face so many costs. So that's why the study on queues has become of paramount importance. So before we go to this concept of retention of impatient customers, I'll go to basics. We will try to understand how we can capture the real life situations, how we can model them, how we can quantify them mathematically and come out with exact results or approximate results which can help us to take wise decisions. So first of all, I'll be talking about a queuing system. For any real life situation, we consider that as a system. We call that queuing system, in which we consider that there is a population of customers. So customers here mean animate as well as inanimate things. Animate means humans, inanimate means these could be cars waiting for wash or some repair. These could be some packets of the messages waiting to be transmitted. These could be certain buses, certain vehicles waiting at the red lights or cross sections for their passes, isn't it? So there is a population of customers. Those customers enter into some system for service. So there is a service system. If there are not enough servers or the service capacity is not sufficient, some customers will have to wait in queue for their turn. Okay, and after getting service, the customers leave the system. So these are called as departed customers. So this is the preliminary thing, primary thing that we consider in queuing theory. The whole queuing theory is based on queuing system, designing of a queuing system. Now, what we try to do with the help of such kind of queuing systems, our objective is to study these mathematically, isn't it? What is the rate at which the customers are entering into the system? What is the service rate? Are these equal or unequal? Which one is less? Isn't it? If the arrival rate is more and service rate is less, definitely we will have a long queue. So what to do? What to decide upon? Okay, if we have to minimize the queue, minimize the waiting time, we have to provide better service, we have to invest in the service facility, we have to recruit more servers, isn't it? So that cost we have to face, that is known as service cost. Okay, so if we increase our service cost, our waiting will be reduced, so waiting cost will be less, isn't it? So the objective of queuing theory is to provide the best level of service. Here we can see on x-axis level of service. So best level of service at minimum total possible cost. So this upper curved line curve is total cost. This cost is cost of waiting, and this cost is cost of providing service. So this trade-off between waiting cost and service cost, the queuing modelers generally take into account, and their objective is to develop some mathematical framework, some mathematical model with the help of which they will be able to predict the delays, the average waiting times a customer have to face in the queuing system, the average queue length, the average number of customers in the system at any time or in long run. So these are the certain questions which a queuing modeler tries to answer with the help of mathematics.
Rakesh sir, your PPT is not visible.
Not visible. Okay. Let me talk to the coordinator. Mr. Mahakrishna, is it visible or not? No. Present now. So you mean the PPT is not visible? Oh, you should tell me in advance. Okay. Just wait. Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I am very sorry. I was not told. Okay. So let me regress. Okay. So this was my first slide. So I have already told about the structure of a queuing system. You can see Okay, input population, queue, service system, and the departed customers. So this is the basic framework of any type of queuing system. Okay. Now coming to the second slide, I talked about trade-off between waiting cost and service cost. So the objective of queuing theory is to provide best level of service at minimum possible cost. Now coming to the elements of a queuing system or characteristics of a queuing system. So how can we go ahead? How can we formulate any mathematical model? What we have to consider? So first thing is arrival pattern. So this refers to how the arrivals are, how the customers are arriving into the system, how the traffic is coming to the system. Are the customers coming one by one? Or are they coming in batches? Are they coming at equidistant time points, deterministically, or they are occurring randomly? So most commonly, the arrival process is random in nature. We cannot predict at what time the next customer is going to come. So this randomness compels us to think about the probability distributions involved, the stochastic process involved. Okay, in most of the situations, queuing modelers model the arrival pattern, arrival process with the Poisson process. Okay, that captures this arrival process more suitably in most of the times. Although it could be general, it could be of any pattern. Okay. So next thing is service pattern. So service pattern refers to how the service is occurring. Okay. Is there one server? What kind of service system is there? How the customers are taken for service? Are they taken one by one, or batch service is occurring? Okay, service times are deterministic or these are random. What are the underlying probability distributions involved for modeling those, service times? So normally the service times are continuous, and because of the independence nature of the service times, because we cannot predict how much service time a customer will take. So the suitable probability distribution for service times is exponential distribution, which is taken normally. So next thing is number of servers. So how many servers are there? Is there a single server? If there is a single server, we call the queuing system as a single server queuing system. If there are more than one or multi-server, we call that as multi-server queuing system. The next thing is capacity of the system. This is very important thing, because all the times the capacities are not infinite. In most of the service systems, production systems, where there are queues, waiting lines, you can see that the space is limited. Waiting space is finite. We cannot allow infinite number of systems, although in certain cases, in grocery stores, in government hospitals, etc., nobody can stopped to enter. But the most of the practical systems we deal with are finite capacity queuing system. Then comes the queue discipline. So queue discipline is simply the manner. This is a way how the customers are taken for service. The most commonly used queue discipline is first come, first served, or FIFO, first in, first out. That is, the customers are taken for service in order of their arrivals. There is no partiality. Okay. So next could be last come, first served. So this kind of queue discipline can be found in inventory systems. Then service in random order. There is no order of service. Anybody can be taken for service. Then there are certain priority disciplines in which a particular customer is preferred over the other. Then next very important thing in context of queuing theory is Kendall's notation. So Professor Kendall gave a notation A, B, C, D, E, using which one can recognize what type of queuing model is. So A refers to inter-arrival time distribution. So what kind of probability distribution the inter-arrival times are following? B refers to service time distribution. C, number of servers. D, capacity of the system. And E, queue discipline. For example, MM1. So here the M for Markovian. So first M refers that the inter-arrival time distribution is Markovian in nature. Second, the service time distribution is Markovian in nature. Third, 1, that is there is only one server. And other things are not written. If these are not written, it is explicit that the capacity of the system is infinite and queue discipline is first come, first serve. If these are other than this, we have to mention B and E also. Similarly, MM1N. So here the capacity of the system is N and maybe some number. Similarly, other MG1. So G for general service time. So no particular pattern of the distribution of service times. Similarly, MMCN. So C servers and capital N capacity. So these are certain examples through which we can understand the Kendall's notation. So it is just like a number plate of the car, okay, through which we can have full information regarding the queuing model or queuing system. The next thing is measures of performance. So once a model is defined, known, okay, our objective, what is our objective of studying the queuing models? Okay, so our objective is to predict, to determine the average number of customers in the system, normally denoted by LS. Average number of customers in queue, LQ. So difference between LS and LQ is that when we talk the number of customers in system, those include the number of customers in queue and the number of customers in service. Whereas the number of customers in queue only contains the customers who are waiting, not in service. Okay. So average waiting time of a customer in the system, WS, average waiting time of a customer in the queue, WQ, and we have a formula that is commonly known as Little's law, through which these performance measures are connected if we are doing steady state studies. Okay, so L is equal to lambda W. L means average number of customers either in system or queue. This symbol is not visible due to certain reason. So here is lambda, that is mean arrival rate, and W waiting time, average waiting time. Okay. Yes, one more this performance measure is average server utilization, that is average arrival rate divided by average service rate multiplied by 100. That is how much time the server was busy. Okay, so before going ahead, let me first come to the very basic, the first queuing model, okay, which we need to consider, need to understand before going to the other things regarding the impatience or retention, isn't it? So that is MM1. So this kind of queuing model is based on certain assumptions, okay. The arrival to the system occur one by one according to a Poisson process with the mean rate lambda. Here it is lambda, not visible. So the inter-arrival times are independently, identically and exponentially distributed with parameter lambda. So if here there are some people from probability side or queuing side, they can understand the Poisson process, isn't it? So if the arrivals are occurring according to Poisson process, then it can be proved that the inter-occurrence times, so inter-arrival times are exponentially distributed with same parameters. So that is this. Okay, so there is a single server and the service time is distributed exponentially with parameter mu. The capacity of the system is the capacity of the system is infinite. There is no restriction on the customers in the system. Q discipline is first come, first served. So this M, Markovian, okay, it refers to exponential distribution. If you are talking about continuously distributed random variables, then exponential distribution possess the memoryless property called Markov property. Okay, that's why this M is written over here for exponential distribution. If you are talking about discrete time queuing systems, in that case, geometrical distribution possess memoryless property or Markov property. Okay, so this M in continuous time simply means the distribution, underlying distribution is exponential. Okay, now under these assumptions, what is the mathematical model? Okay, what we do, we start with, we try to know, our objective is to find out the probability that there are n customers in the system at any given time t. So n is 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on, because the numbers are number of customers are discrete. So our objective is to find out this probability under these random circumstances, under these probabilistic assumptions. So based on the memoryless property or the assumptions, we can write like we consider we consider the situation during very small time delta t. Okay, so if we have to talk about this, what is the probability that there are zero customers in the system, or what is the rate at which the zero state is reached at? So we start with this type of additive law of probability. So P0 t plus delta t. Okay, at t plus delta t, there are zero in the system. The system should be empty. Okay, how can we achieve it? That is, zero in the system at time t and no arrival should occur. So 1 minus lambda delta t plus O delta t, order delta t is the probability that no arrival is occurring. Whereas lambda delta t plus O delta t is the probability of exactly one arrival in very small time delta t. This comes from Poisson process. Okay. Similarly, there is one customer in the system at time t, and during delta t time, one departure occurs. The probability of one departure is mu delta t plus O delta t. So that's why. Then there is no other possibility. The possibilities of more than 2 departures or more than 2 arrivals are discarded because their probabilities are very, very small in time delta t according to Poisson process. So just rearranging the terms, okay, P0 t plus delta t, this is coming like this, lambda delta t, this is one case. Another is when there are n customers in the system. So similarly we can write this, okay. So taking the term P&T left side and here P0 t left side, that is P0 t plus delta t minus P0 t, and then dividing the whole equation by delta t, taking limit delta t tends to 0, we get a set of difference equations like this. P0 dash t, this is ddt P0 t minus lambda P0 t plus mu P1 t. Similarly, ddt Pn t, that is Pn dash t, is equal to lambda Pn minus 1 t minus lambda plus mu Pn t plus mu Pn plus 1 t, and from 1 to so on. So we get these kind of infinite number of equations. Now we can solve them in a transient state, that is time dependent, or we can solve them in a steady state when the time is very, very large, isn't it? So we can have two kind of solutions, steady state solutions and transient time dependent solutions of these equations. So in one case we get probability of having n customers in the system independent of time at any time, and in other case we can get P&T, time dependent probabilities. So using these probabilities we can compute those measures of performance. Those are nothing but expectations. So the expectation is simply summation n into Pn. So once you know this P&T or Pn, you can find out the average number of customers in the system as well as, and by using the Little's formula you can find out the other measures of performance that is average waiting time and other things. So this was the basic idea that how we approach to any real life situation and how we make a mathematical model and what we do with that model. Okay, what we try to find, what sort of solution we find. Okay, now coming to the topic, that is types of impatience in queuing systems. So my topic is retention of impatient customers. So first we need to understand impatient customers, the behavior, the phenomenon of impatience in queuing theory. So this diagram you can see. So it is again a queuing system. Here we can see arrival process. The customers are arriving. Okay. So if a customer sees very long queue, so he may decide not to enter the queue with certain probability. So this sort of behavior is known as balking or barking. Okay. And another thing is customer enters the queue. Okay, there may be one queue or two queue. Okay, I'm talking about a queue, single queue. A customer enters the queue, waits for some time, and if his wait becomes unbearable, he has other things to do and the wait is more, then he can leave the queue without taking service and leave the system. So this behavior is known as reneging. Another behavior is, suppose there are two or more parallel queues. Here I am showing two queues. So normally if you people have gone to supermarkets or railway stations, there we find many parallel counters and many parallel queues. So people jump, customers jump from one queue to another in order to get quick service. Okay, so this sort of behavior is known as jockeying. So these are three kind of impatience behaviors of customers in the queuing system. And another thing is service mechanism, and after getting service, the customers leave the system. So I think this impatience behavior of customers is clear. Now coming to the historical perspective of queues with customers' impatience. Very important to note, people can take screenshot. Those who are working in the area of queuing with impatience, these are the people, pioneer people. Haidt in 1957, then in 1959, he came out with the queuing models with barking and queuing models with reneging. Okay. Then Anker and Gaffarian, these two people also extended their work. They included both effects in the same model, balking and reneging. Okay. So another is Subarov, queuing models with balking and reneging in MG1 system. So this author extended to the non-Markovian queuing model, the same concept of non-Markovian queuing model. Similarly, there is another author, Vasily and Boyer, and then Habutin. So they also studied single server queues with impatient customers. Then another people are Netwick, Mott, Tajir, Hagigi, Mehdi and Mohanty, then Parsarthi and Silvaraju. So these are very classical references with reference to historical perspective of a queuing theory. I may be missing others. There are lot many others, but I cannot present everything here. Now coming to the concept of retention of reneging customers. This is very, very important. This is the crux of my field of research nowadays. So before 2012, people were doing balking, reneging, discouragement, these kind of things. A number of queuing models have been made. So in 2012, myself and Sumit Kumar Sharma, we thought of an idea that if the firm's production or service, if these firms employ certain customer retention strategies or convincing mechanisms, then there is a probability that a reneging or impatient customer may be retained. And this is quite natural. This happens every time. Okay. So there is a probability that he may be retained. So we have taken this probability into consideration and we have modified the basic MM1 and queuing model with the renaging by incorporating this probability, and we termed that as MM1 and queuing model with retention of renaging customers. Okay. In the next coming slides, I'll show the importance of this concept. Okay. So next thing is, yes, this is our first paper on this. Kumar and Sharma, the people, in 2012. This is the title, MM1 and queuing system with retention of renaged customers or renaging customers. Pakistan Journal of Statistics and Operational Research. It is Scopus indexed and ESCI indexed journal. Okay. So in this paper, we introduced the concept of retention of renaging customers. We studied the steady state analysis of this queuing system. Okay. Here you can see my objective is just to see how this is incorporated. So in case I am talking about steady state equations, long run behavior of the system. So in that case, those differential become 0 because there is rate of change of any constant quantity is 0. Okay, as I explained in MM1 queuing model here. So probability is P0, P1, Pn, Pn plus 1, all these are independent of time. So the first equation is minus lambda P0, means there are 0 in the system and no arrival is occurring, so 0 remains. Similarly, one customer in the system and one departure occurring. So again 0. So this equation for 0 in the system, for empty system. Now coming to the next, for the case that n lies between 1 and capital N minus 1. Capital N is the capacity of the system. So here, what was happening in the case of MM1 system? Minus lambda plus mu. So I am taking one more factor into account here. That is, if there are n customers in the system, n minus 1 are in the queue, and those n minus 1 can renage, can be impatient because their service is not happening. Okay, they can be impatient with certain rate xi. Xi is the rate of impatience, and we have taken it as distributed exponentially. Okay, so this probability P is the probability of renaging, and 1 minus P, that is Q, is the probability of retention, isn't it? So here this probability is coming into the picture, isn't it? So before this P, it was only in case if we talk about simple MM1 queuing system with renaging, it was simply n minus 1 xi. Okay. Similarly, mu Pn plus 1, n plus 1 in the system, 1 is going out with rate mu, so n are remaining. Similarly here, n plus 1 in the system, n are in the queue. So with this probability xi p, okay, or you can say rate xi p, that one customer is also again going out, moving out. So these are the two different cases in which a customer can leave. So here, and then n minus 1 in the system with the rate lambda, one customer is arriving and again becoming n. Now talking about the finite capacity case, whenever the system is full, in this case n minus 1 in the system, 1 comes, then it becomes capacity full. Okay. Similarly here, nobody can come, so the possibility of arrival probability is 0. Now, yes, we can talk about departures. So departure should not occur if we need and capital N in the system. So minus mu and minus of n minus 1 xi p on the same argument. So this is the model, the very little modification that we have done, but it has very long-term impact. Okay, we can see later. Now we can solve these iteratively as we can solve simple MM1 queuing system. So this is the probability Pn in steady state that we have obtained, and this is the probability of that the system is full, and this is the probability by using normalization condition that the system is empty. So this is the solution to this queuing system. Yes, coming to key performance measures in these kind of impatience kind of queuing systems, here we intend to compute the expected system size, we try to find the average reneging rate. What is the average reneging rate of the whole system? What is the average retention rate of the whole system? So here, in case of reneging, xi p is here, xi q is here. So this way we have formulated these kind of performance measures. And another is bulking rate. So this n upon capital N is the probability of bulking. Okay, so this is NP and T. Now coming to the this economic part. Okay, what are the implications? Economic implications of the this introduced concept. So here we have formulated another paper, that is profit optimization in insurance business facing customers' impatience, published in Scopus Index paper journal. So what we do on the previous model, we define some cost function, that is total expected cost. So these symbols have their meaning. Okay, if you go through this paper, okay, if you download this, you can understand everything is explained over there. CS is the cost per unit, cost of service per unit, means per customer, holding cost per customer, this cost associated with lost customers due to capacity constraint, cost of reneging, cost of retention. So this is the cost function we have formulated. Then this is written with reference to the symbols or the probabilities that we have obtained earlier. Similarly, the revenue function is generated, and total expected revenue minus total expected cost. This gives me total expected profit. So this is total expected profit function. Okay. Now what we did, we computed, we formulated some algorithm on MATLAB. We translated all these. Okay, and then we consider this Q is the probability of retention. So this is the probability of retention is 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. Associated retention costs are like this. Then the total expected revenue, total expected cost, total expected profit. These are the values. So this we can see this is no simply an example taken for illustration. These are the parameter values that we have taken. Okay. So my objective is what is my objective? My objective is to determine the customer retention strategy. What is the optimal customer retention strategy at which the total expected profit is maximum? So what we did the optimization. What we did, we optimized the total expected cost. Okay. What is the mean service rate, mu, at which the total cost is minimum, that is the total expected profit is maximum. So this mu star here means optimum service rate. Okay, so we can see here for value of Q 0.5, the total expected profit is 74.9458. So above this it is down, and below this is also down. So the decision maker or the organization should select the strategy which is the customer strategy which is retaining 50% of customers, outgoing customers, impatient customers. Okay, if they are going for retaining 90% of the outgoing customers, then no, this total expected profit would be less, because the total cost of retaining that will go high, and this way this profit will be less. So this is the use. So using this kind of retention probability and this kind of modeling framework, one can prescribe to the organizations that which customer retention strategy they should select based on the parameters of the queuing system. Okay, this is one thing. Another thing is I'm talking about MMCN queuing system with reneging and retention of reneged customers. This paper is published in International Journal of Operational Research, InterScience Publishers, Scopus Index Journal, ABDC Index Journal. And here, likewise, the simple MMCN queuing system with finite capacity, these are the equations. So small n upon capital N this denotes the probability of bulking. 1 minus this, the probability of no bulking, isn't it? Probability of entering. Okay. So more understanding you can have by only studying the full paper. Okay. So these are the balance equations of the system. Likewise, MM1. Okay, for MMC, finite capacity, these are the equations, and we have solved them iteratively. We have obtained these kind of steady state results. You can see them, and we have also obtained the probability that the system is empty. This is a very simple calculation, can be done. Okay. Yes, coming to this, another paper that is, yes. So I want to mention here that these steady state models we have done, and correspondingly transient analysis we have also performed, and all those papers are published. I will show you the list later. Okay. Transient solution of one I can want to show you that transient solution of two heterogeneous server queuing system with retention of managing customers. This paper is published in SCA Journal Bulletin of Malaysian Mathematical Sciences Society in 2017, and these are the assumptions. Arrivals occur according to Poisson fashion as earlier. There are two servers serving the customers with different service rates, mu1 and mu2. Okay. And then each customer upon joining the queue will wait a certain length of time for service to begin. If it doesn't begin by then, he may get impatient and leave the queue without with probability P, or remain in the system with probability Q if certain customer retention mechanism is in operation. The reneging times follow exponential distribution. These are the assumptions of the model, and based on those assumptions, we have formulated these equations. Okay, both servers are free. First server busy, second server free, and first server free, second server busy, both server busy, and then there are both server busy as well as there are more than two customers in the system. So these are the equations. There is a lot of literature on two heterogeneous server queuing models. Okay. I'm not showing you transient results, very complicated expressions, simply just showing for your information that in this paper we have done a major comparison between the homogeneous and heterogeneous server queuing system with two servers. Okay. So homogeneous servers means servers are serving at the same rate. Heterogeneous means servers are serving with different service rates. So average reneging rate along y-axis and probability of retention. So this comparison shows here that if we are talking about this.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Rakesh sir. Can you give the idea how to solve the transient equation?
Which one? Transient.
Can you give the idea how to solve the transient equation?
Yes.
Transient solution. How we can?
Right, sir. Right, sir. Very good question, sir. So for doing this transient studies, what we have done, we have in our studies we have used the probability generating function technique, and we have followed the method developed by Parth-Sarthi. Okay. In this method, we first design a suitable probability generating function, and then we use the Bessel functions, the Laplace transforms in between. Okay. So kind of algebra, lastly we obtain explicit transient state probabilities. There are other methods also. We have matrix method for transient solution. The method is developed by O.P. Sharma, IIT Delhi. So that is also that can also be used.
Mm-hmm. Here you can show which probability generating function you are using.
Probability, that can I have not shown here. That can be seen in the paper. Okay. So in paper we have written that. Okay. Probability generating function is specifically designed for the model. It's not simple that Bayes technique that P and P z raised to power and summation n from 0 to infinity. It's not simple this. Okay. It's specifically designed and which helps to obtain the transient solution to our models, this kind of models where n is also involved, isn't it? There are a lot of techniques. You know it, sir. You know, yeah.
No, actually, I want to learn that technique. That's why I am asking.
Okay, sir. I refer you to go through this paper. No. You see this paper. At the end of my presentation, I am showing my citation, these papers, all papers. Okay, and even I can send you the PDF of the paper. No problem. Okay. So this moment we cannot understand. I cannot explain that whole very complicated solution procedure, isn't it? Transient solution is very difficult to obtain. Okay, a lot of calculations are there.
Right.
Yeah. So you can see in the paper. You refer to that paper. Okay, no problem. I have completed one project on this.
I will then.
Yeah, definitely, sir. Definitely. Yes, good. Yes, so I showed you only one transient solution paper. Okay, I don't want to go into more papers because there are around 50-60 papers written by us on this concept. Some are on steady state, some are on transient state solutions. Okay, now coming to the most loved part of all the participants or the audience, people always talk about applications. Okay. So here I am giving you 4 or 5 main applications which are discussed in the literature on these type of queuing systems. So call center, normally what we do if we get some problem with our mobile operators, okay, says there's some problem with the service provided by Airtel or Jio or something, if our washing machine is not working well, or TV is not functioning, cable is not functioning, what do? We make a phone call to the call center, service centers, okay. So what is the mechanism? The customers are here, you can see. Customers are making the phone calls, those are going to service agents, okay. If the calls are more, those have to wait in the queue, okay. So this is the mechanism, and we have made a paper that is transient analysis of MMC queuing system with the retention of managing customers. So in this paper, okay, what we can do, we can see this call center as a multi-server queuing system with incoming requests as customers and various agents with workstations as servers. So more precisely, this call center forms a multi-server queuing system. A customer who finds a server busy many times may become impatient and discontinue his call. This we normally do. We try 2-3 times, and if it is not connected, we leave it. So this behavior is called as balking or bulk customers. Also, there is another scenario that after connecting to the call center, the customer wait for the executive to respond, and his wait is more than the expected wait. He may discontinue his call, so the customer may hang up, isn't it? So such kind of phenomena can be regarded as a reneging customer. So if the call center people, they increase the number of call handling executives, increase the service speed, the reneging customer may be retained. There is a probability for this. So that's why our model fits well into this scenario. Next thing is, this is very important. I am surprised that people did a case study on airline call center, and this was presented in IEEE conference. So they use this concept. Okay, this is the reference you can see, and you can read the paper. And they have used this concept of retention of reneging customers, and the performance of the system was significantly, improved. Okay, so they did some simulation studies. Now coming to the next very important application, that is an order picking system. So order picking system is what? I'm taking you to simply online shopping. What we do from Amazon.com or Rediff or some, what is that? A number of shopping sites are there. Okay, where we place orders. Okay, so what is happening? We place the orders are received by the organizations. Okay, then they try to fulfill the order from the stores. Okay, then they pick, then pack, then ship, and the orders are further fulfilled. Okay, so during this process, what happens? Okay, if the order fulfilling time, okay, is more, if the organizations are taking more time to deliver the products, so sometimes what the customers do, they cancel their orders, isn't it? This is very common. And there are no this options also. Whenever you order anything online or offline, okay, then you can cancel at any time, isn't it? So what is the essence here is that orders are in queue, okay, customers are in queue, but there is a probability that they may cancel their orders. So with P probability they can cancel, and with probability Q they can retain their orders, they may not cancel. So these two persons, Dong Yu Yang and Ying Yi Wu, okay, these people take into account this situation, and they study this paper. Analysis of finite capacity system with working breakdowns and retention of impatient customers, and the customer is published. This paper is published in Journal of Manufacturing Systems, SCI paper, Impact Factor 3. So they also made use of this concept. Okay, so these are the assumptions of the model. They use matrix geometric method. They use Runge-Gutta method to do all these kind of studies. Okay, and they gave certain recommendations to the manufacturing firms. Next example that I can talk about is supply chains of perishable vegetables and fruits. Even we can talk about all kind of perishable goods. We can talk about breads, we can talk about medicines whose dates expire. Okay, anything we can talk about. Okay, if those items are not sold within the stipulated date, those are nothing. So we can say that those expire, those are erased. Those can be treated as erased customers. So what happens in vegetable or fruit supply chains? These items come from farm to agents, okay, from agents to comes central distribution system, and then to retail stores, and lastly to the end user, that is customer. So this way this happens. Now during this supply chain, these are the nodes of the supply chain. So during this process, this transportation process happens. So if at any node, okay, the waiting time is more. So suppose some trucks are going on a highway and there is a wait of 1 day or more or 2 days, then those vegetables or fruits may get spoiled, isn't it? So if the organizations use certain preservation strategies, then there is a probability that some of those perishable or perishing products can be retained, can be stopped from being spoiled. So there is a probability. So this kind of, when we are talking about this kind of probability, so the same kind of model can be applied to this. So we have used the MM1 queuing model with renaging, bulking and retention of renaging customers to model this kind of situation. So these are the assumptions what I explained just now. And the last application that I'll talk about, that is insurance business. So we have made a paper, profit optimization insurance business facing customers impatience. Okay. So here again, what we can consider that the arrival of policies to any insurance company is just like arrival of customers to the system. So those policies will remain with the system, those firms, till their claim is furnished. Okay, but sometimes what happens, the people get impatient. Okay, they feel that okay, the returns are not proper, the service is not okay, other companies are providing better policies, so they may file the applications for surrender of their policies before maturity. So this behavior can be captured as reneging of customers, isn't it? And if those insurance firms convince their customers that, okay, we will provide you better service, we can provide you all possible help, okay, what you want, okay, then there is a probability that some of those outgoing customers can be retained. So the situation become again just like a retention of reneging customers. Okay, so this all kind of profit optimization and all kind of modeling we have done in this paper. So now I want to show that what are the output of this concept at our university, that UGC has sanctioned a 3-year major research project to me on these transient solutions of Markovian queuing model with customer impatience and retention of reneged customers. I've completed in 18, and 2 theses have been awarded, one to Sumit Kumar Sharma and other to Sapna Sharma in 2020. Now coming to next, that is very important. I think you are getting bored. Okay, no problem. I'll take 1-2 minutes. So another very important extension of this concept is discrete time extensions of queuing with retention of reneging customers. So this person, Yutai Lee from Korea, he worked with this concept, he formulated various models, and his work was supported by this ICT R&D program of MSIPI TP under this number, development of high availability network operating system for supporting non-stop active routing. So he has got a very big project for the development of these kind of discrete time queuing models. So first model is GeoGeo1NQ with retention of reneging customers. So here Geo means geometric distribution, interarrival time follow geometric distribution, service times follow geometric distribution, one server, finite capacity. So in case of continuous time systems, we were talking about exponential, but in discrete time is talking about geometric. So this paper consider geometric queue, okay, reneging time, reneging times follow geometric distribution, steady state distribution is obtained, okay. And these are the assumptions, further assumptions of the model we can read. Okay, here nothing is happening in continuous time, everything is happening at the time slots. Okay, time axis is divided into fixed length intervals called slots. So everything is happening at the slot boundaries. Okay, so various kind of probabilities are taken into consideration and the steady state solution is obtained. So he extended his work to batch geometric arrivals. Okay, and then he worked with state dependent. He also improved this concept by taking into consideration state dependent retention of reneging customers. So state dependent probability of retention. Other works by him are these. Okay, these are easily available in Google Scholar, you can see. Okay, now I am coming to the last part. So for more information on the study on retention of reneging customers, this is my Google Scholar ID. You can refer to it. You can take the snapshot of this. Okay, and this you can see here. These are the models. This is MM1 queuing model with retention of reneging customer bulking. Recently developed in 2012, cited by 33 times. Similarly, other models. Okay, and all these models are available. Okay, and if you require the PDF of these, I can provide you all. Okay, some are open access. Okay, and these are model. I have shown a few, so you can see all these transient solution and all, and I have not shown all those here. Okay, thank you very much. And these are my emails and phone numbers. These are my web profiles, Scopus, ORCID, and LinkedIn profiles, my university profile. So for any kind of literature, any help or research in this area, anybody is welcome. No problem. Thank you very much for your patiently listening to this lecture. And I will be happy to answer your queries if you are having anyone.
Audience, if you are having any doubt, please ask. Okay, I am Dr. Roja Mary. Good afternoon to one and all present here. On behalf of our management, I would like to thank everyone present here, especially our today's presenter,